All right, so good day, everyone. This is our last topic for the first quarter. So we're going to talk about the DOM and events part one. So we are going to tackle what is DOM, selecting elements, changing, adding and removing elements, and also creating animation. All right, so what is DOM? So document object. This stands for document object model. All right, so in using the DOM, JavaScript can access or you can access all the elements in a web page. This is mostly used to get or modify the content or value of HTML elements, right? So you can do whatever you want. You can apply effects, you can show, you can hide, you can also animate the text or object, etc. So here in this example, we have the HTML tags, the head tags. So using the DOM or document object model, you can access all these elements. All right, so next. Right, in using DOM or document object model, JavaScript can use to manipulate the DOM of page dynamically to add, delete, and modify elements. So it is important to understand the relationships between the elements in an HTML document in order to be able to manipulate them, the JavaScript. The parent object that encompasses the entire DOM of web page is the document object. All right, next. So selecting elements, these are, or you can use these elements for you to access the inner HTML elements. So we have this selecting the topmost elements, selecting elements by ID, selecting elements by class name, and the selecting elements by tag name. All right. So okay, so for the selecting topmost elements, these are the methods. So for the HTML element, you can access through this method, document the document element property. Or for you to access the head element, you can use this method, document that head property. And for the body element, you can access this method, document that body and then the property. All right, so next. This is the very simple example for using the topmost element. So later on, I'm going to show you the actual example using the Notepad++. All right. Okay, next is the selecting elements by ID. So in this example, you can actually see this on your handouts. Okay, I'm not going to discuss further this one. Later on, I'm going to show you again the actual example using the Notepad++. So next is these, this is the example, screenshots. Next is the selecting elements by class name. So this is the method that you are going to use if you want to access or if you want to select using the class name. All right. Document that get elements by class name method. All right. Next. Okay, next, selecting elements by tag name. So this is the method, get elements by tag name method. This method is also returns an array-like object of all child elements with the given tag name. So later on, I have an actual example. Next is the selecting elements by tag name. All right. So this is the screenshots. Then next is changing elements. We have the changing elements, changing style. This is the example, and the creating, adding elements. Right? Removing elements. Okay, screenshots lang muna, replacing elements, and the creating animation. All right. So for the creating animation, we have the foundation first, like CSS. Okay, so let me show and explain further regarding the elements of document object model in JavaScript. So we are going to tag the topmost elements, selecting elements by ID, selecting elements by class name, tag name, changing elements, changing style, creating, adding elements, removing elements, replacing, and creating animations. So first we are going to talk about the topmost. So here we have the sample attribute. So inside the sample attribute, we have this topmost shall we call this ID? And then this is the title. Now this is the JavaScript. Inside the body we have the JavaScript code. Now if you want to display the sample, which is this one, sample attribute value. So this is the method document element that get attribute. Okay, so the output for this is the TopMost. Now if you want to set the background of the body element, you can use this method, document that body style background, and then you can set the color whatever you want. Next, if you want to display the tag name of the head elements, okay, first child. So this is the method now, document that head first element child node name. So the title, the output here is title. It's not outputs because it's just one, it's output. All right, so as you can see, this is the first child. Hold on, where's that? Okay, first child. All right, which is the node name is title. Alright, so that's why if we are going to run this program, very simple program, yeah, the first output is TopMost, second one is title, and the blue, which is the background. Okay, we set the background, which is the color is blue. Alright, so next is element by ID, selecting element by ID. So we have the title, and then we set the ID. Sorry, which is the ID name is the first para, and then we have this information paragraph, and this is our script, JavaScript, what do you call this, JavaScript code. Sorry. So in order for us to select the element with ID first para, this is the method. So we declare a variable, which is the lm, then equals document that get element by ID. So what is the ID? First para. Right, this is the ID. Now if we want to highlight the element's background, just get the variable lm. So we have this, okay, lm, that style, then the background is pink. Now the output for this is, of course, this is my first paragraph, and then the background of this paragraph is color pink. All right, so let's run this program. There you go. All right, so this is the output of this simple program. So that is selecting element by ID. All right, next, selecting element by class name. Now we have, okay, selecting elements by class name. Now inside the body we have this, okay, we have this 3 paragraphs, and then the 2 paragraphs have ID with class 1 and the class 2. Okay, so this is our JavaScript code. Now if we want to select the elements with class 1, we declare the variable here, which is lm, okay, document that get element by class name, which is class 1. All right, if we want to display the selected elements count, now document that right, number of selected elements plus, okay, lm, which is the variable, and the length, because we want to select, we want to display the selected elements count. All right, now if we want to apply the bold style, okay, for the first element in selection, so you just need this code, okay, method lm, then we have this index, that style, that font weight, okay, then you can type whatever style you want. Okay, if we want to apply the style again to the last element in selection, we have this lm, declare the variable, then lm that length minus 1, that style font, and then italic I set an italic. Then if we want to highlight each element background through loop, okay, we can use this function. All right, so let me go ahead and run this simple program. There you go. We have the italic, okay, and the number selected elements is 1. All right, so next.
Alright, so selecting elements by tag names. So remember, this is the method, right? Get a document that get elements by tag name. Alright. So in this example, the the method returns an array-like object of all child elements. Okay, these are the child elements with a given tag name. Right? The tag name is the P, which is represented as paragraph. Now, so we have these 4 paragraphs. This is this script code, and we declare a variable ARR, right? And then the array like syntax. Now we want to change these paragraphs into kamusta. If we're going to run this program, we can get this for kamusta's word, all right? Because we change it. So all the child nodes we change into kamusta. One word. All right, next, changing elements. For the changing elements, we want to change. So here inside the body I have id, which is my image for this file, photo.jpg. Script code. Now I declare a variable change for us to get the image id. Now we want to change, okay, we want to change this photo into this photo. All right, photo 1. Now if we're going to run this program, sorry, it's not all right, so if we're going to run this program, we get this image. So this is the second image. Now originally this is the image. Originally this is the image. Okay, that's the original image. All right, so that's changing elements. It's pretty easy. Next is changing style. So changing style, so here we have a div inside the body, and we have this demo id, and inside the div we have 2 paragraphs. Okay, so here we declare a variable a, and this is the method to get the demo for demo id, just the div, right? And then the array like syntax. So inside sorry, we also declare a variable arr for the child nodes. These are the child nodes for this parent node. Okay, now if we're going to run this program, we got this 2, which is new paragraph. Let's run. All right, here I'm under the weather today. So, 2 paragraphs, same words. All right, so because we change it, okay, we change into this paragraphs, child nodes. All right, so all the child nodes changed. Now next, creating the element or creating elements. So in this creating or adding elements, we have div again. The id is demo, and then we have 1 paragraph, how's your day. Script tag. So now we want to create a new paragraph. So first we declare a variable p to create the new one. Okay, and then we have node to create the text node, which is let's create an element. So this is now the new paragraph. Okay, p, which is from here, and then the append child node. Okay, now we have this variable div for this para mailagay yung well sorry, to create the text node. Okay, to create the new paragraph, and this is the method now. So div equals append child p. If we're going to run this program, we got 2 paragraph now because we create a new one. So first is how's your day, and this is the new paragraph that we've created. Let's create a new elements. All right, so that's creating elements or creating adding elements. Next, removing elements. So from the word remove, of course, we are going to remove a paragraph or the p tags, one or two. So it's up to you kung ilan yung i-remove mo. So first we have this div, and again the ID is demo to paragraphs, which have two IDs. So the first paragraph is P1 and the second is P2. Now script code. So we have this variable parent, which is the parent is here. The method, the ID from this ID of div. For the child variable, which is for P1, first paragraph. Okay. Now we want to remove it. This is now the syntax parent. So from parent, we want to remove the child, which is child, and for this child only, which is the first paragraph. Let's run this program. Okay, we got only one output. I'm under the weather. Okay, let me check. So, so P1 now is already removed. Alright, so we only have one output. Right, next, replacing elements. So replacing, from the word replacing, of course, we want to replace. Again, inside the body, we have this div and a script tag. So we declare a variable p for this. Okay, so var node. Okay, create the text node. This variable p, this is for creating a new paragraph. Okay, and this is we create a text inside the paragraph tag, which is this is the new message. P append child to create the syntax. Okay, and then declare again a variable parent from this one div, and ilalagay yung demo ID. Si var child document element P1. Okay, then we want to replace this P1 into a new one. This one. Now if we're going to run this program, we got this. This is the new message. I'm under the weather. Okay, so how's your day paragraph is now removed or is now replaced. Right, so that's our replacing elements. Next is creating animation. So in creating animation, in this example, so you can actually check this on your handouts. So in this example, we use a CSS foundation to manipulate the program. So this is an external style sheets. File name is creating animation.style. So inside the HTML code, we link the file. All right, creating animation style.css. Now we have a div again. Inside the div, we have this container and box. So ito yon, container and box. Now script code. So we have to set the interval time. Okay, this is the set interval method to call or move every 10 milliseconds. Right, to move the box left and right. Okay, now the animation will stop using this function. Okay, via function that uses an if. Okay, if and else. Alright, to check the position value of POS or pause. Now if the pause is greater than equal 150, set we have this clear interval method, okay, used to stop the timer variable, which is t. Okay, so if we're going to run this program, we get this yeah, animation, creating an animation. All right, so I think that's it for today. Thank you, have a great day.